Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to never miss an update.
Hi, my name is Swayam Tibrewal. I'm joining IIM Bangalore this year as a PGP student in June. I secured a percentile of 99.12 in CAT, and that's why I would like to, whosoever is watching this video, to get motivated and not to lose hope, because after my journey I feel there are a lot of things that people give up and they should not. I have total taken 4 attempts of CAT, starting with CAT 2015 to CAT 2018. CAT 2015 was the non-prepared one at all, so it was just for the sake of taking the exam because everyone was taking it. CAT 2016, after I joined my Mu Sigma, the work life was a bit hectic. So in that manner, it became another non-prepared attempt. The third attempt which I gave, the CAT 2017, was the first serious attempt, which was I put my heart and soul into that exam and I started preparing for it. In that manner, I prepared for 4-5 months, gave CAT 2017. CAT 2017 was a very good attempt for me, just that during that CAT exam, my computer got shut down for 15 minutes and I just got 45 minutes of the verbal section, because of which I lost considerable amount of my percentile and score. Even though I did that, I still got a 98.8 percentile around something. There were talks all around my relatives, my friends, that I should join IIT Bombay. SJSM is like one of the top 15 colleges and it's really known. I didn't go through this journey to go for something like IIT Bombay. I just imagined Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta. With that, I took a risk again of giving this exam this year, CAT 2018. One thing I realized, that sitting over the exam 3 hours again and again, preparing yourself, your mindset, that you should concentrate on those 3 hours properly, is the main factor here. So what I did was I tried to take as many mock tests as possible. In my office hours, there was a session for meditation and yoga for half an hour, 1 hour, that really helps you keep your mind calm in pressure situations during CAT. Which I feel in CAT 2017, after I lost those 15 minutes, I really panicked a lot, and which led to a bit of lower score, which I was not expecting at all. So I gave around 50 marks in both CAT 2017 as well as in CAT 2018. For me, I realized that quants and LRDI section was my strong point. I didn't have to work more onto that. The weaker area was the verbal section in CAT 2015 and 16, and then I started improving on both the two sections, and I have done justice to the last 2 mocks and the last 2 years of CAT in those 2 sections at least. CAT is just like an aptitude exam. People make it a big affair, but it's actually not like that. CAT, it's more about realizing where are your weaknesses, working on it. So for example, the first 2 years, I did a very wrong thing by preparing in a manner which I was good at. Suppose, for example, quants. I used to solve quants and LRDI all the time, but not focus on verbal, because there was not, my interest didn't lie there, and that's why I used to keep neglecting that subject, and that haunted me back in the D-Day exam, which I realized after the 2 years. And then CAT 2017 and 18 was a more structured approach and analytical approach, where I used my mock percentiles and saw the mistakes that I was making all throughout, try to make sure that I don't repeat it over and over again. I honestly feel CAT is a bit overhyped in terms of the amount of time that is required. It's not that you have to prepare 10 hours a day or something. CAT, in office hours, it was tough. I remember I had to work for 15-16 hours at office daily during CAT 2017 time in the initial May months. But I always used to make sure that per day, even while working at office, on the go, I used to read newspapers or the mobile apps, the word meanings app, or solve here and 10 minutes questions during office hours. So I used to squeeze out 1 or 2 hours every day during the weekdays for the preparation, and weekend would be mine, and one would be like 10-12 hours at stretch for weekend. I would make sure that I solve 1 mock every weekday, every weekend, and analyze that mock on the same day itself. The week before CAT, the 2 weeks before CAT, I took a leave, and those 14 days I just accelerated in a manner, because it just gave me the freedom to do all the things, revise everything. I really feel most of us end up wasting time a lot rather than using it, either on phones or through even in office hours. We waste a lot of time which can be utilized for preparation here and there. I remember while during having lunch, I used to read 2-3 news blogs, the article ones, or for example anything that goes on, or analysis of a mock, a particular solution. I used to do all that during my the non-productive hours in office, and that really helped in that manner. And it's not that I was missing out on personal life at all. My CAT journey 2018 started in April. I realized that my weaker section is verbal. I need to focus more on that. I started with concentrating more on solving passages from previous year papers as well as last year solved mocks. I got hold of a lot of question bank for CAT and started solving them. Made sure I analyzed my mistakes. So every day, two mocks, two passages, 2 to 3 passages I used to solve for RC and get into the reading habit and solving mindset. So at times, the normal English that we speak and the CAT comprehension English that we have to solve, it's way different. So we have to get into that framework of mind and we have to be really fast at it in CAT. So it started in May. Most of the focus was towards verbal because I realized for me LRDI and quants was on the stronger side. LRDI specifically, LRDI for most people is the game changer section, but I had done it properly well from last 2 years as well. So from April, May, June, July, it was more on the verbal side plus one mock per week, analyzing those mocks and working on few on the quant side, whichever. So for example, geometry part or a permutation combination part where I would find it a bit weak, or the trigonometry issues, the number system. These are few topics here and there which I would not comfortable with. I used to revise all that. By the end of July around, I was wholly prepared with trying to convert my weaker sections into stronger zones. I would not leave any questions in mocks, or I would not get terrified seeing those questions. So that really took time, 2 hours, like I said, 2 hours a day, and during weekdays, and weekends would be 7-8 hours on Saturday and Sundays. So that would really work, would be fine. And from July, August, I started taking mocks very seriously. I used to maintain an app called Forest app, where I used to count down where the amount of time I used to concentrate on a particular screen without getting distracted, or I made sure that I sit in all kind of environment. I gave my mocks in all the possible environment that can be on the D-Day that I can face with. For example, in a very air-conditioned room, in a very hot room, humid environment, or something where there's a lot of noise around. So I made sure that I'm habituated with those kind of surroundings while attempting mocks, so that if I come across anything like that during the D-Day, I will be able to manage that. So in that manner, I prepared myself. From August, September, October, November, I started taking mocks here and there, rapidly here, 2 to 3 mocks per week, analyzing those mocks, and then more on the fact that starting to solve more and more tougher questions that can come up. So what happens in CAT is, to get to the 95 percentile, most of the people would solve same number of questions. What the difference that would make is few questions, the tricky ones or the tough ones, which actually lead up to 99 percentile and then 100 percentile here on. So I started banking on more and started improving my speed here and there. In terms of months, I would feel if someone who's starting as a beginner in CAT preparation, it would take 4 to 5 months, a serious 4 to 5 months preparation. If he's not done any strategy before, if he has not made anything before, someone who is habituated in this, if he's dedicated towards it, 3-4 months would be fine enough for preparation. My own brother Swayam Tibrewal, he converted IIM Ahmedabad this year. He also converted all other calls that he got. He chose not to join Bangalore because we both wanted to be in different colleges and in different cities. So regarding preparation, it actually helped a lot. Last year, like me, he converted SPGN and IIM Indore, but I motivated him not to join because I know his capability. He's an SRCC graduate plus a CS, so he's too much into the study and he's also capable of getting into something big. So in that manner, both of us during the preparation size, we complemented each other very well. It was actually, I started crying the day when the time when the result came out. It was 6:45 p.m. I still remember. I was at my friend's house and I started crying on seeing the result. I didn't even tell anyone for the first 15-20 minutes because it took me time to absorb this thing, because people get it easily. I got it the very tough manner and I realized what is the value of this in my life and how hard I have prepared to get this. So after that, when I told to my parents and my mentor, they were all like happy and the jumping around because me and my brother both converted like in a span of 2 to 3 days, and it was a gala time in my family as well as with my mentor because he was the one who mentored both of us. The three strategies that I would recommend for any CAT taker this year, starting CAT 2019, would be: first is to take as many mocks as possible in all possible situations and environment, starting with giving in a very cold environment or in a very hot, in a noisy environment, so that you become adaptable to the final D-Day. Secondly, to know where you stand and what is your weaker sections are, and improve on that in terms of start practicing more questions towards it. Start making sure what is your, you need to identify questions really well to be knowing where you stand. Thirdly is to stay calm and to handle those pressure situations really well during that exam, because there would be at time you might choose a wrong question and you might waste a lot of time that should not get into you. So when these three things to take care of, CAT is not a that kind of a exam where you need to be stressful about it.
Hi guys, we hope you like this video.
And if you did, hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon.
हाँ बस हो गया अभी काम भी कर लो
हाँ ठीक है चलो.